Hey, good morning, good morning to my CEOs. Yes, that's you, which are my creators, entrepreneurs, and high level operators. Good morning, guys. Hopefully, you guys are having a fantastic start of your day. Today is Friday, February, correction, I'm all the way back in February. Good dog. April 4th, 2025. Another session with your man, CEO 369 Consulting. Yes, I got my Army jam on today. Got my workout in. I think I'm going to just do one session because I got to launch. Shit, shower, shave, get dressed, and we have a media event at the office today. So I like to go and make sure things are on point. My team did some amazing work yesterday, got things set up and running. But this is what my session gonna be about. Y'all gonna go, what? Why did he choose this? But I call it simply this: beating the numbers game in life, your YouTube journey, as well as in business. This is a phenomenal thing. Sometimes I go out in the morning and it's 5 a.m. and you look up at the stars while Zuri doing her thing. You just see a whole bunch of stars. You know, beyond the point of trying to count them, they're just too numerous. So when I was looking at these stars, I thought to myself, I was like, man, imagine what life is all about. Imagine how we move through this world and we associate ourselves with people all around the planet. This is what the great thing about YouTube does. It gives us this opportunity to connect in so many ways with people, both here in the U.S. and around the world. So I keep this clock, the U.S. and the world population clock, on my screen. And so let's say the U.S. population, for instance, 341,570,500 and just crossed over 45 people here in the United States, right? Compared to the world population, bigger scheme, 8 billion, 110 million. Let me finish this. 228,000, and there are 681. That number is just steadily going because people coming into the world, people going out. The United States is ranked number three. Number two is China. And number one is India. I'm not going to read all those numbers, but I just find that fascinating as far as I'm concerned. That's what I view. I just realized that, life is a numbers game. No matter what you do, it always comes down to the numbers. You know what I'm saying? In your personal life, you know, for me, in my personal life, me and my wife sit down, go over our numbers, our finances, tax season coming up, numbers, anything we do, events for our business, myrootedvines.com, it's a whole numbers game. Just prepare, prepare. Everything you do is always numbers, whenever it is what you're going to do. uh, thing of it is, when you do it, you think about in your YouTube growth, your career progression, finances, as well as health goals. Like I say again, that's why I do the 5 a.m. Club, book written by Robin Sharma. It gives you that 20-20-20 formula: 20 minutes of working out, 20 minutes of meditation, 20 or reflection, 20 minutes of just growing. So far, every time I've commented on something, it's been surrounding numbers, and that's what we do in our everyday life. Basically, what I'd like to ask you, drop it in the comments. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the numbers game? I don't necessarily get overwhelmed. Because I know how to quickly take that elephant, compartmentalize it, break it down into small chunks, and then work it out. Boom, boom, boom. Whether it's from front to back, back to front, a top side of it. I look at it in so many different angles so I can make sure I have the completed picture. Are you worried about the views? Is the area of finances, your money, is that a topic of conversation that you're want? Your time, your weight, your age. I'm 57, baby. I've had a wonderful life. My biggest thing is I'm shooting to do better for myself. just one of my YouTube brothers, the Gen X effect. He went to where Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated at in Montgomery, and he did a voiceover in it. And he did a speech. Very good, bro. I'm gonna just give you props. 100%. You did your thing. And then he and I are both on a similar journey. I wasn't going to show it, but I'm going to go ahead and show it. I told him I got my nicotine gum in because I'm working on quitting smoking. My wife is very happy about that. So I'm showing up to show out. And it's funny, I tapped into his video this morning before I got on, and boom, lo and behold, me and that brother on the same journey. It's all about how you connect with people that are like minded. So let's talk about how to beat the game. It's to me, it's I every time I'm progressing, I'm growing, I'm stepping into my journey. Numbers are everywhere, no matter where you look. You can break down the key areas of where the numbers dominate. When you talk about your professional life, you think about revenue, deadlines, quotas, followers. Those are numbers. When you talk about your personal life, for me, your age, your weight, your finances, hours in a day. We always like to say we don't never have enough time. I'm like this. When I get to where I'm gonna get, and first off, should I say this? Uh, you know, black people, we got our own time clock. We ain't never in a rush to get nowhere. I don't care what it is. That's what I learned. And then all of them that are be people be moving fast and doing stuff so fast. Where you going? Once you get there, you're gonna be there. So either you leave out early enough, give yourself enough time, but don't start getting into the worry. When you think about YouTube growth, it's always about your views, it's all about your subscribers, it's all about your watch time, retention, so on and so forth. So that's what I mean about this. If you have one thing that you're going to kind of give some attention to today, first and foremost, it's going to be a fantastic Friday, especially in Georgia. It's going to be hot as hell. I'm looking at about 86, 87 degrees. All I wish it would do is the pollen needs to just slow the hell down. I know it goes through the whole springtime. Do what you got to do, bring to life the greenery and everything that we are so well known for, the growth, plants, so on and so forth. But man, I'm glad I got over that effect because when it first started, I could just feel it, sinuses and everything. Now, eyes were watery, feel much better now. So there's a lot of false and true numbers when it comes to sometimes false matrix numbers that don't define success. You have a vanity matrix, especially in YouTube, about the like without engagement, different things like that. True matrix that we I tend to look for, especially when it comes to a few areas or things in my life personally. It's that of what truly moves the needle, quality of engagement, return on investment in business, your health matrix. So those things are very important. For myself, what are the things, the matrix that you look at when it comes to the numbers that are true, that ring true to you? Uh, Mindset shift. You already know my those four interior pillars that are within inside of us. Empires, not pillars. You have your mindset, your heart set, your health set, and then your soul set. Psychology, your emotions, when it talks about your physical health, and then your spirit. So those are key areas that I keep tuned into, locked in on throughout my day, what I got going on. So here becomes some strategies real quick for you guys that really help. And if you like what you've heard so far, please hit the like button, subscribe, share this video. You know, if I could get just the number of shares on, like, let's say for the US population, 300, and I think it's like 30 some odd million, that would be phenomenal. Or just get three. I ain't greedy, but I always shoot for the stars and then aim high to hit my target. So that's what I bounce about. So a lot of things you can do. You can own your input, not just the outcomes, especially when they talk about, we're talking about YouTube this morning. Don't be stressing over 1,000 subscribers. Just focus on producing high quality videos. People will come. You know, I'm averaging between 138, I believe, at this time, and I have 141 videos. So my ratio is right in my wheelhouse. Fourth month, soon to be my fifth month, and April 11th. But I'm just enjoying it. I like sharing information. I like connecting with people, building a community where it counts. For me, I like to control what I can do. Pretty much, like I say, the numbers will follow you. You know, I control my environment, those that I connect with. I love getting comments and communications from people that I really connect with. So, you know, another thing you can do, number two, is reverse engineer your success. Now, that, like, what is reverse engineer? You know, start with a goal, but then work backwards as it pertains to that goal. An example, you may want to make 10K a month. Now, break down how many clients, products, or views it'll take to get you to where it is that you want to do. And just think in terms of what is, you know, like for me, day trading. I mean, my mentor, the young man, makes on average about 10K true or more a week, but he understands this market. I've just been in day trading, bottom line, consistently, where I'm tracking everything for about a little bit over a year. But now I'm starting to see what's going on within the scope of the market, the futures game, and I'm seeing I prefer 100 to $500 every day to round out to about 500 to 1,000 a week. And for me, that's balling. You know, you got to start somewhere. You got to start those small steps. You gotta build, because guess what that then leads into? That gives you the power of small, consistent wins, and then you progress. It compounds. Improving by 1% daily leads to massive results over time. Think about that. If you do 1% of improvement on yourself in whatever area that you're thinking about each day, but for a full year, that's like 365% improvement in your life. So, as my mentor Robin Sharma would tell you, if you own your morning, guess what you're going to do? You're going to elevate your life. So start out today being at 1%. If you haven't been doing it on a consistent basis, begin your journey today, personally, professionally, as well. If you have a YouTube channel, small or large, just be about your business for yourself. You know, stop comparing yourself to others, your numbers to others. Big whoop. You know, I love seeing the Sean Canal and Travis, as well as his wife. You know, they have over 1 million subscribers. You know, but imagine 10 years ago when they first kicked this thing off. I'm only not even well, I'm almost half a year since November of last year that I've started in this, but my journey just began. Some people kick off and they start and phew, they're like a rocket ship. They just take off. Steady, slow, steady, build, build, build. Continue to do what it is that makes you do your thing. Your only competition in this game and the game of life, guess what? Is who you were yesterday. When you woke up, you cannot repeat truly that performance. And it's granular, small details of everything that you did. You'll have remembrance of certain things that you did that you can bring forward, but that's about it. And I don't ever really worry about other people. I'd sometimes just like to sit back and observe them because it helps me to improve on my thing, what I'm doing in my life, how I'm handling my business. You know, leverage the systems that you're using over the hustle. Learn how to automate, delegate, optimize, stop relying truly on brute force. I am not a person that loves labor. I'm sorry. I like getting out in my yard, taking care of business that way. But I like using this right here. I like using this technology right here because it helps me to get things done, get it out there, sharing. Instead of what I'll say, instead of trying to post 10 times a day, create evergreen content that lasts, that works for you. And some people do it daily, some people do it every other day, some people do it once a week. But if you have your system and your approach, guess what? You'll start seeing some phenomenal, phenomenal results in everything that you do. You know, Sometimes is how, think about just today. How will you do that? My action step, if this is resonating with you and you guys are understanding this, drop me a comment, throw me out some since we're talking about numbers, I think give me some ones, for effect, or twos if you truly are getting this, and then threes, like, dude, start this thing over. What are you talking about? uh I just want to give you guys a quick challenge, right? Pick one of the matrix that matters today for you and take action on it. Examples, if you're talking about YouTube, you can improve your watch time by making a better hook with whatever it is that you're trying to do. Two, in your business, reach out to three new clients. Mine, I don't call them a client, but that's part of my tribe, my community. It's my CEOs, creators, entrepreneurs, high level operators. I reached out to Gen X Effect. I threw the brother some love. I commented, letting them know that I was encouraged by what his YouTube channel that he put together. And then basically, so I got two more. Let's say if I chose three. Your personal, dedicate 30 minutes to your health. Think about whatever it is. If you take a walk, you do a workout, whatever the game is. Sometimes just getting up and stretching is a good way to start some things. And then finally, this is my final thought. Numbers aren't the enemy, right? They're just a tool. And when you learn how to use them, you stop playing the game and you start winning it. Like I say again, my consistency of what I'm doing with day trading, I'm starting to see how this market is operating. Whether the market is in an uptrend, which is not, if you've been looking at the market, or if it's in a downtrend, which it has been, and you can capitalize on it. As whether it's ranging, you can still see it. I trade on a 1 minute time frame, so things are moving fast, moving quick. I used to think when I first started, it's like, man, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be able to trade on the 1 minute chart. But things slow down, and then you start seeing how things are operating, moving. So that's what I'll challenge you to do. I want to encourage you. Drop me a comment below. What's the number one uh, thing that you'll work on today and that you'll take control of? And again, as my mentor, Robin Sharma, would always say, when you start owning your morning, you will elevate your life. And for me, I was going to leave you guys with this. When you honor yourself, you can honor others. When you respect yourself, you can respect others. And when you, correction, I forgot to say, love yourself, you can learn to love others. And when you respect yourself, you'll respect others. You guys be cool, you be kind, enjoy the day, stay hydrated. We'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.